Imagine standing on the edge of your dream, only to be too terrified to take a single step forward. That was Aryna Sabalenka, long before the trophies, the roar of the crowd, and the Grand Slam glory. And today, we're diving into the moment her coach says almost ended her career before it truly began. Welcome back to Net Rush Report, where we break down the biggest stories, the hidden truths, and the moments that shape the world of tennis. Let's get into it. Aryna Sabalenka is now one of the most dominant forces in tennis. But before she lifted her first Grand Slam trophy at the 2023 Australian Open, she was fighting a battle far more intense than anything on the court. According to her coach, Jason Stacey, Sabalenka was genuinely terrified to step back into competitive tennis after the long pandemic shutdown. And this fear wasn't just nerves. It nearly pushed her to quit the sport entirely. When sports around the world went silent for almost 2 years, many athletes struggled mentally and physically. But Sabalenka's struggle ran deeper. At that time, she wasn't the powerful, confident champion fans now know. She doubted whether her game would return, whether her body would respond, and whether she still had the ability to compete at the highest level. The uncertainty was overwhelming that on a recent episode of Dr. Kristen Holmes' show, Stacey opened up about those difficult days. He revealed that the biggest obstacle wasn't Sabalenka's fitness or technique. It was her mindset. She had built emotional walls so high that coaching her became nearly impossible. Stacey said he told her that unless she allowed herself to be vulnerable, even just a tiny bit, progress wouldn't happen. Without that openness, she was, in his words, uncoachable. But Sabalenka listened. Slowly, she let down her guard. She began rebuilding not just her tennis, but her trust, her confidence, and her belief in her own strength. And that shift, quiet, private, invisible to the outside world, was the moment everything changed. By 2023, the transformation became undeniable. Sabalenka had her breakout year, smashing through the ceiling she once thought impossible. She claimed her first Australian Open title, reached all 4 Grand Slam semifinals, a feat no woman had achieved since Serena Williams in 2016, and rose to world number 1 for the first time. And her ascent didn't stop there. In 2024, she reclaimed the number 1 ranking, won WTA Player of the Year, defended her Australian Open crown, and dominated the US Open to claim her 3rd slam. Then in 2025, she did it again, finishing the season as world number 1 and defending her US Open title. That a career that almost ended before it began has now become one of the most powerful comeback stories in modern tennis. If you enjoyed this breakdown and want more untold stories from inside the tennis world, make sure to like, subscribe, and stay tuned right here on Net Rush Report, where every match has a story, and every story deserves to be told.